Welcome to the very first episode in the series You're Wearing What? Which also is the very first actual episode in the entire channel. Yay! Today we'll be discussing the difference between a blazer, a suit or sports coat, and a jacket, while also diving in some useful information for each one of them. So where should we begin? A blazer. Great choice. You see, when you search up the term blazer, you might find a description that's not very fitting. See what I did there? That's a clothing pun, and a good one at that. You might find an answer that says a bright color sports coat, a bright color sports jacket, or a jacket that goes over a shirt that looks like a suit but's not actually a suit. It's very confusing. So, let's mention the first characteristics, the most important one to identify a blazer. First of all, it's a standalone piece, which means that it's worn by itself along with contrasting color trousers. It could be of a very bright color, that's the second point. You can have a blue blazer, a bright red blazer, a bottle green blazer. It could be double-breasted, which implies that it could be 6-on-2, 6-on-3, 8-on-3, or it could be single-breasted with up to 3 buttons. It's usually associated with an organization, a club, or a sports team. The buttons can be emblazed, which means that they have a signet, they have an icon, or they could be of contrasting colors as well. The material could be contrasting, such as mother of pearls, silver. If the criteria is met, boom, you have yourself a blazer. You could even say that a blazer is a type of sports coat, but a sports coat is not a blazer. What's a sports coat, you might ask? Great, I was just getting there, lucky you. Now, for a sports coat or a suit coat, the terms are very easy to remember. A sports coat is a coat that does not match the trousers, while a suit coat is a coat that matches the trousers. They're a set, which implies that you can wear a sports coat with whatever you want. A pair of jeans, a pair of chinos, or shorts. You name it. Finally, we arrive at the jacket. Jackets are most usually associated with an activity. And to further explain this, we'll take a look at the safari jacket and the A2 jacket, also known as the flight jacket. The safari jacket, yep, you guessed it, was created to go on safari in Africa. Hence its great amount of pockets and very useful amount of space. But ever since its creation, the safari jacket has evolved away from the very hot savanna towards urban wear, and it blends effortlessly tailoring and streetwear. So it's a very appreciated piece of clothing. Very stylish, very fresh, and because of its neutral color palette, very earthy tone, you can mix it up with pretty much everything. Maybe jeans, tailored pants, dark colored chinos. I'm sure you'll rock it. The A1 jacket, also known as the bomber or flight jacket, was a piece of clothing designed specifically for pilots back in the military. It was mostly made out of capeskin, which is a type of sheepskin, and it was issued between 1927 and 1931. Although it's worth mentioning that shortly after, the military eventually abandoned capeskin, as it wasn't as durable or sturdy as the purpose it was designed for in the first place. A year later, we get the A2 model, now made out of horsehide leather, which was much more sturdier, much more durable than its previous generation. And it was also lined with silk. Nice, good for them. The sturdy snaps and reinforced pockets were still very present, and for open use in the cockpit, for the pilots, of course. Much like the safari jacket, we now see the flight jacket away from the battlefield and now blazing throughout the streets, in a lovely dark leather or in an alluring sweat. So, aspiring gentlemen, Now you know the difference between a blazer, a sports coat, and a jacket. Please don't forget to place in the comments down below what would you like to see next in the channel, or you can actually just post any type of questions you might have. I'll be sure to answer it, and I am very glad to do so. Don't forget, I am Mr. Panache, your guide in classical menswear and savoir-faire. See you on the next video.